Next topic. We're talking about perfection. We're talking about eating too much broccoli. Is that possible? We're talking about
just being a food god.
Yeah.
The concept of there being this perfectly ideal diet for humans or the perfect nutrition for humans, and over-obsessing on little things because you're so focused on perfection and not be able to step back and look at the bigger picture when it comes to nutrition and health.
So,
because we get this a lot.
The main question then is, we could just go around the table or around the screen. Why did you, Ryan, adopt a healthier lifestyle? Was it to be perfect, or what was it for?
Everything else I've done in my past, I've been perfect at. I was a perfect basketball player. I was a perfect... No, I'm just joking. No, I've never been obsessed with perfection. No, it's because, I think I can speak for most people. A lot of us came from a less than healthy place. I was overweight.
Last picture on screen.
Yeah. Amongst other things, not doing all that well. I wasn't totally sick yet or anything, but I wanted to get healthier, so I started playing sports.
Well, your blood tests were not great.
Yeah, my blood test sucked back then too. So I basically came to it for health reasons, and I think I've achieved that now, having 2 blood tests over the past 3 years, which are essentially perfect. I'm fitter and stronger and, faster and better at pretty much anything physically I could have ever done before at the age of 47 now. So
if you know what I mean.
think I've accomplished my goal.
I remember when you used to try to run in like the 90s.
When I used to run?
Yeah, you were not running 10 miles.
Oh, no, I'd get that old, during Ryder thing, I'd lose, my breath running around the block back then. And just 2 days ago, I did my longest run yet of 12 miles. That's not...
That's awesome.
Consider I just started running at the age of 44, really, so it's not that shabby either. And I've had no running injuries to speak of in the past 3 years.
Thank goodness. Unlike basketball, so many injuries.
Yeah, which I've been playing most of my life, but I've been backing off because pretty much every time I come home, I'd have a twisted ankle, a sprained finger, a bruise, cut.
Chipped tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with soccer. There's nothing I've beaten myself up more with than playing a game of soccer. It's ridiculous. But yeah, kudos on that 12-miler. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So, Tino, what about...
Soccer looks brutal, man. That looks worse than basketball.
Right.
So,
all
Tino...
right, so, so what got me interested in the vegan lifestyle? If you want to go all the way back to when I was on, say, SAD, the standard American diet with, a lot of meat and dairy and, a lot of refined stuff, to transitioning slowly to a whole food plant-based diet. Really it was just aesthetic reasons, just to get more lean and lose a little bit of weight, and also to get, athletically, to get better in my athletics, like soccer and running, cycling. So yeah, I didn't think about the holistic health part of it until I had watched Forks Over Knives, until I found out the power of what this diet could do. It could reverse disease and not just, help people lose weight. It can cure people from severe illnesses. So once I realized that, then it was a holistic thing. It was about health. And I knew that if I eat this way, I'm not just going to lose weight. I'm going to be healthy for life. My arteries are going to be wide and open. I'm not going to have high blood sugar and, worry about diabetes and all this stuff. It runs in my family, which people say it's pretty much a death sentence, but you eat this way and, you can cure yourself, prevent it, and reverse it. So it's amazing. But yeah, it just started off as just for aesthetic reasons and personal reasons. Oh, and I will add that ethics came in later as well. After I realized this was about health, this is what I wanted to stay on for the rest of my life. And I hadn't really opened my eyes to the ethics part of it until I'd realized that this is the healthy lifestyle to live. I'd watched Earthlings and I realized, what people are doing to animals. So even if I was eating a plant-based diet, I still wanted to avoid leather and all this stuff and products that have animal testing on them. I didn't want to take a part of that anymore. And so I said, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to become a vegan. I want to do less harm to myself as well as those around me and the earth as well. So much is caused by the meat and dairy industry. I'm getting off on a tangent here, but
No,
that's what basically brought me
good.
here.
All those reasons. I didn't mention all the environmental stuff too. The ethical stuff. Agree with you 100%, Tino.
Right.
So Angie, what about you? Why did you come to a healthy diet?
Oh man, I feel like I've told the story so many times. Well, I won't tell the whole story, but I was vegetarian more or less my whole life since high school on, for ethical reasons. But why I started swinging more to the 80-10-10 style of eating, it kind of stemmed out of having some health problems. I forget how many years back ago it was now, like what, 5 or 6?
Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago. I was struggling with GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, kind of being tired and a little under the weather, kind of on a constant basis, like really bad allergies and just like on and on and on. And then I went to different kinds of doctors to try to get advice on the different, all the different things were happening to me, but I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. And I started to think that maybe it was really more of a holistic issue, that all of these things were somehow part of one larger picture, like instead of going to like just to a dermatologist and then an allergist and internal medicine, it was all something to do with something I was putting into my body. So I went crazy. I was doing all this research, like I was wondering about my water, and wondering about mold in the walls, wondering about the different types of food I was eating, what I was drinking. And I started learning about like alkaline versus acidity. So that's when I started to really strip back my diet and try to figure out which things were making me acidified. And then somehow he'd gotten into Durian Rider, I think, via David Wolf, ironically. and because the Durian Rider found out about Doug Graham and the 80-10-10, so he started wanting to simplify his diet with, the 80-10-10 book way. And so as we did that, I just started noticing that all these different ailments I was having were disappearing. So, getting rid of fermented foods actually seemed to be a huge thing for me. Fermented foods and beverages have really been a trigger. And like big soy products were like a huge problem for me. Because we were vegan, but we were still having a lot of these processed foods. So getting rid of the processed foods is really what made my eczema go away. I didn't even mention that. Like everything, my allergies, eczema, irritable bowel syndrome, GERD, it all went away once I got rid of processed foods from my diet. And then getting rid of like the oil and the salt has helped me to lose, how much? I think I was up to 140 and I got down to 120
pounds.
Yeah, pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
nice.
The weight thing wasn't even really why I was doing it all. It was really health was the reason why I got into it. And then everything's followed. I have like way more energy now and yada yada yada. Now I've got the whole healthy lifestyle going on.
And not to go off topic at all, but this is why I recommend people don't fast to try to get rid of all these ailments. Try a long-term, high-carb, low-fat, whole food, plant-based lifestyle for a long time, like she did, and all these problems went away. That people will try to like hit up through like fasting first. No, diet and lifestyle first, long-term, and see what happens.
Yeah.